today, what we're going to be doing is installing a fire extinguisher into the back of the 1991 Ford Bronco using quick fist clamps. Now, I got both of these things from Amazon. You can get this with a little kit of other quick fist clamps, and I'll show you those in a minute. And this kit was about $30. These are really nice because they're made of rubber. So that means that they resist moisture. It means that you don't have to worry about them rusting out, and it means that they hold stuff with a good vibration resistance. So you're not going to hear a lot of rattling around. You can get these are the larger quick fists. You can get them in smaller pieces that'll hold something like a farm jack, a high lift jack, or something like a shovel or a flashlight. But today we're going to be using the larger quick fists on this fire extinguisher. Now, what happened recently, the reason I'm doing this is because about a few weeks ago I was driving around in DFW, and what happened was my transmission started to shoot a bunch of black smoke out the back of it going down the highway, and pulled over and started trying to figure out what was going on. Didn't have any forward or reverse, and I looked under the truck and fire. So unfortunately at the time I didn't have a fire extinguisher in my truck. Now, I got lucky. I was able to put the fire out using some cotton cloth, otherwise known as a t-shirt, which I don't recommend that if you have a vehicle fire unless you know what you're doing around fire. I've actually got a little bit of professional training when it comes to that stuff, but that's another story. Don't mess with fire. Call the fire department. I called the fire department, but I got lucky. I had the fire put out before they got there. Be safe around fire, and a great way to be safe around fire is to have one of these in your truck or car, especially if your truck or car is old, like this one. This one's 25 years old. So today we're going to be putting this in the truck. For starters, I started thinking about putting it over here on the other side of the spare tire mount in the back of the truck, but I figured that because there is a steel plate right here, the bottom of this extinguisher is actually a bit too large to fit safely right here on the top of the wheel well. Over here, it's a different story. There is no spare tire mount, so it's got a nice big empty surface area to put the bottom of the extinguisher down. Now, I've already moved the trim panels from the top of this side. I also did on this side when I was thinking about where to put it. And the reason I'm doing it like this is twofold. For starters, I want to have a fire extinguisher in the truck somewhere. I started to try to put it up in the driver's compartment, but at this point I'm probably going to be replacing the center console and the front seats. So I wanted to have it somewhere that if it was readily accessible, even with the top off, I could get to it. So this is the location that it's going to live, just on the driver's side, back next to the little cargo light. So we're lucky, actually. Once you take the trim off the top of this driver's side, you end up with a lip right here. Now, this lip basically is the perfect size for the edge of the quick fist mount. You can see that it just slots right in there perfectly. Now, another thing that we're lucky about with this Bronco is that it actually already has a little hole for mounting the plastic trim into the back, and we're going to use that as part of our guide mark. All right, here we go. So we're going to put the quick fist clamp up here on the edge of the bracket, or on the edge of the trim. We're going to take our center punch, and we're going to make sure that it lines up with that little hole. Yep, that's in there. And we're going to take this, stick it in here, and make another mark over here. The next step is to drill some holes. So we're just going to enlarge this first hole, create a new hole here, and create a new hole here. That was easy. All right, got my holes. Okay, new plan. Drilling these holes isn't really working because I'm not really able to press the Nutsert face flush up against the metal. So check this out. Basically just gonna take a razor blade, and I probably should have done this from the beginning. Ta-da! Interrupted by the garbage man. Alright, well, I roached the other one, so I gotta go get more. Alright, next piece. These are the little plastic washers that come with the unit right here. They slip into the center section. So this allows you to basically put this, which is a countersunk bolt, into the face. Can you see that that's countersunk? Yeah, you can. All right. And then you just basically get it finger tight, and we'll go the rest of the way with the other guys. And look at that. We're done. So we took a couple of the bolts and we threaded them through that center section. That's that countersunk unit. Put a few washers right there. My dog started barking. And that is how it looks when the fire extinguisher is not in it. And if you guys give me a second, I will show you what it looks like with the fire extinguisher attached. And that is how it looks when we are fully installed. And the cool thing is, you can actually still get access to the fire extinguisher with one hand. Check it out. Look at that, you're fighting fires. So, there you go. That's the installation of a fire extinguisher into the back of my 1991 Ford Bronco using quick fist clamps. Now, like I was saying before, there are a couple of different sizes of clamps that you can get if you buy the kit that comes with a couple of different sizes. What you usually end up with is two of these guys, two of these guys, which are the small little clips which are useful for flashlights and things like that, and then about 4 of these guys, which are useful for things like farm jacks, shovels, axes, what other things you might want to have sitting on the side or the inside or the outside of your truck and not have to worry about them shaking in a metal bracket or something like that, or just falling off because a bolt came unstuck. Now, these brackets are vibration isolated. They're made of rubber. That's what they're for. Down the road, I might make a follow-up video to talk about how this actually works out for me. And a word of caution with these fire extinguishers. Even though if you might go to your local home supply store and pick one of these up, be aware of the thermal capacities on the actual top and bottom of these fire extinguishers. Now, this unit right here is good, I think, down to about -14 degrees Fahrenheit and up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Anywhere above or below that, it can either lose its ability to fight a fire because the pressure might go down, or the pressure might go up if the temperature gets too high. For example, if it's sitting in the back of your truck during a Texas summer, the inside of your car can probably reach or exceed that temperature. So it's something to consider. So this may not be something that you want to keep in your truck at all times, especially if it's going to be a really, really hot day and you live in the South like I do. So even though you might have to take this in and out of your vehicle, it's still worth having. And if you're going to be going on a long trip, or you're going to be going camping, or you're going to be going off-roading with your friends, having one with you is essential, not just for fire suppression in case you come across a fire. It's also really important in case something on your truck catches fire like it did to me. And I wasn't even off-roading, I was on the highway. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or feel free to contact me on Facebook at Racers Junkyard. And don't forget to go out there and have fun, folks. Thanks for watching.